Hi guys, welcome to our channel Crick. So today we have Ritik with us. So we're gonna talk, give a brief about the IPL. So throughout the IPL, whatever has happened, and how teams have gone, how things have, the scheme of things have been throughout the tournament, and with the playoffs approaching. Firstly, what do you think about it, Ritik? How the tournament has, processed, or how it has gone? So what do you think about it? The overall gist of it.
Yeah, Rohit, I think the tournament so far, what I was expecting, it has been much better than my expectations because I think the last year we were seeing too many high scores, but now in this specific tournament, we have seen even evenly balanced contests in the middle. We have seen games of 180, 190 as well, going till the last over. I think that has been a big plus point. Keeping aside that impact player rule, we have seen better competition, and more importantly, the teams that have performed were some sort of underdogs in the previous seasons. For example, the way Delhi has showed up, the way Punjab has played. Same could be for GT as well. GT are always under the radar kind of a team. They are not very vocal about how they are doing things, but they are very effective. And same has been the case for I think even RCB because during the auctions, I still remember on the first day everyone was saying that RCB has done probably the worst job on the table. But I think by the time the second day started and the kind of squad they had, they have probably been the team that have maintained their 11 probably more consistently than any other team. So I think yes, a lot of surprises in this kind of tournament. But yeah, it's good to see that it's evenly balanced. Specifically, you can for example, I can give you the example of the previous match as well, Gujarat Titans against Mumbai Indians. Mumbai I think scored 150 plus, but that also went till the last over. So I think the kind of competition we have seen, that has been much better. Yes, last season everything was as in batting oriented, but this time I think it's more balanced.
Yes, definitely, and I mean, talking about this entire tournament, right? Again, we saw Virat Kohli scoring runs. I mean, he's done that time and again. Especially,
Yeah,
this is his first IPL post his T20 national retirement, and he's absolutely looking magnificent, right? And
yeah,
Sai Sudarshan as well has been really among the runs. Surya Kumar Yadav, before the Champions Trophy wasn't in the best of the form. In the T20 series that was concluded, I don't remember whom they played, but the previous T20I series definitely wasn't in the best of his touch, right? So he's come back really well, helping Mumbai Indians, and Mumbai Indians are climbing up the table. And what do you think about the expected teams? Because the likes of CSK, the likes of SRH, the likes of maybe Rajasthan Royals, we had this middle kind of a situation when we are reviewing that team as well. But I really thought, if RR could have won three games, three close games where they literally, couldn't get 10 runs of the last over in a similar fashion, they
yeah.
lost. So if they could have won those three games, I think they could have still been part of, or rather, still been a contention here. So, what do you think of these bottom place teams?
Yes, I think we can start with CSK. So I recently made a video as well on Wicket Whispers regarding what didn't went right for CSK. As in, I
Yes,
think
yes.
on paper, it was a typical CSK team, but I think the kind of expectations that were specifically from Rachin, I think, and more importantly from Ruturaj Gaikwad, I think because of I think whole management was heavily dependent on them because we were expecting them to open and to set the tone. Probably middle order was not the strongest, and I think that has been with CSK for a long time. But every time they had a player like we have discussed this earlier as well, at number 4 or number 5 they had someone who can just rotate the game and can accelerate at the right time. I think that player this year was missing. So I think that costed them the initial few matches, and by the time they realized, okay, that we don't have enough quality players in the middle order, I think it was too late. And even nowadays with analytics going on, every team was well prepared when they were coming against CSK. And more importantly, I think we have seen that CSK performing in Chennai, I think that didn't happen this time because they had Noor, but Ashwin didn't perform up to the expectations, and I think same was the case with Jadeja. So I think overall, in terms of team, probably in the next year we will see somewhat similar, but I think they need to find someone in the middle order who can anchor the innings. I think that was missing. I personally was totally surprised from SRH's performance because this discussion was going on between me and some friends, and we were predicting which can be the top four teams. Everyone was saying that SRH should be there because they are very strong in terms of batting and equally potent with bowl. And again, in the middle also they have very very good all rounders. But I think the kind of intent and the mindset they have, That hasn't worked out this time because probably because of the wickets. I'm not sure because last time the kind of surfaces they got probably in Chinnaswamy, in Wankhede, in SRH, in Hyderabad matches, it was more suitable for those kind of batters. For example, for Travis Head, for Abhishek Sharma, it was flat. But I think that was not the case this time, and it was. I think more versatility was expected out of them, especially from few players in the middle order, and I think that's why even SRH was not able to perform according to our expectations. But he has rightly mentioned about Rajasthan Royals as well, because on paper probably I was not very sure about this team, and the main reason was that the finishing area, because they have changed Dhruv Jurel's number quite a few times. He has batted at number 4, at number 5, at number 6, and I think they were heavily relying on Shamran Hetmeyer. They didn't have anyone as a backup. So, for example, RCB, they had Livingston to finish the job, and if Livingston can't do that, they had Tim David. So, but at the same time, they had some sort of replacement in the backup as well in place of in you can say Romario Shepherd. So, if Livingston is not performing, you can easily swap him with Romario because he can bowl as well. I think that was missing with Rajasthan as well, because if Shamron Hetmeyer doesn't fire, then what kind of foreign as a powerful hitter you have? I think that's the area where they have missed out, because as you rightly mentioned, the last few games, if we keep aside Mumbai game that they lost over 100 runs, I think all the games went till the last over and they lost it from there, especially against RCB, DC, and I think one more team. I'm forgetting the name. If they had someone who was in form similar to Shamran Hetmeyer, as in they had Roman Powell last year, some that kind of a player who can just take the game, who can score 15-20 quick runs, I think yeah, story could have been different.
Yes, definitely. I mean, rightly mentioned. I think that's what we discussed during the retention as well, right? Shimron Etmire, I really thought someone like David Miller as well would have helped in the Rajasthan Royals
Yeah.
setup as well, because too much pressure on Shubham Dubey, and they're sending him in late as
Hmm.
well. I think Rajasthan Royals, that's one area where they could improve. And also, talking about SRH, yes, the wickets, as you mentioned, I think one mistake that they've done is they haven't given flat tracks this time. They have given
Yeah.
slower flat tracks, right? You maybe I don't know how to say it. We say it like dire wala pata wickets, right? You can say
Yeah.
uh, maybe a slow pata wicket, you could say, if you could
Yeah.
call it. So I think that's where, because what tends to happen is, in those kind of wickets, what tends to happen is batters like Henrik Klassen would, who have this bat swing, right? Who have very
Hmm.
good golf swing. So what happens is, if the ball is slightly slower, if it's even a
Yeah.
fraction slower, what tends to happen is they cannot control their shot, they cannot control their bat swing. It pops up, right? It pops up, or they might not middle it. So I think that's where things like this tends to happen. And other than that, what I think about CSK is, I think everybody's they're out there addressing CSK's issues, but the youngest player and the oldest player proving that age is just a number for CSK, because Ayush Matre coming in as a replacement, and the way MS Dhoni has played throughout. Uh,
Yeah.
yes, definitely few positives, but I really think the new ones have come in: Ayush Matre, Deval Brevis, the likes of even Urvil Patel in the previous game. They did a fine job. So I think the youngsters are forming a core group. So I think going ahead, that should help them with the likes of Jadeja, and hopefully I think MS Dhoni will play one more season after what yesterday he spoke about. So it's very uncertain, yes, but hopefully I think that's where, yes, they've made a mistake. I think the injury of Futraj as well has been
Yeah.
a cause of concern for them. So hopefully they'll have a good next season, because they're building up for the next season. Because I think Khalil was not at his best in the RCB game, but
Yeah.
before that, prior to that, he's been good. So Noor as well is a positive. So yes, plenty of positives, but definitely, but I think pre-season as well we discussed this, right? If CSK are going to do well at home, they're going to qualify. Or else it's going to be a tough task, because we know that they didn't have the firepower as much as other teams had. So I think, yes, the moment they didn't properly get the results at Chennai, I think that's where they slightly struck.
Yeah.
So, and Other than that, I think this season, as you mentioned, it has been the wickets have been more balanced. I mean, it has been a good competition between bat and ball. So that's what I also felt. Yeah, Dick, I mean, what do you think about the bowlers as well this time around? Have they gotten better variations? And also, I really think the process of changing the ball, right? That is post the 10th over has helped a lot. Teams batting first are winning more now, and Dew isn't a huge factor at this point in time. So, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that has probably been the reason why we are seeing competitions or matches going till the last over, because I think now India or the grounds are equipped with more better facilities of taking the dew out of the grounds, and I think that's why we have seen even the performances of bowler, because last time or the last few seasons we can see when it's dew out there for a bowler it's very difficult to bowl knuckle deliveries or change of pace, back of the hand deliveries. I think these are sort of deliveries that are very difficult to execute. But once you have more grip on delivery, you can obviously explore more variations as a bowler, and obviously we can make things difficult. But I think, yeah, this was very needed as well, because always when you see IPL is the biggest league and you tend to compare the facilities that we have here to the facilities probably that are being used in BBL or 100, as in the drainage systems and all these facilities. The dew was again a big problem, and I think because of dew it was getting even very similar in the last season, that whichever team wins, they can just choose to bowl first, and then when they come out to bat, it was turning out to be a huge difference. And that shouldn't be the case in cricket. Toss should not be a that impactful factor. So I think that has made a very big impact. You have rightly mentioned. I think this was something that would have missed by most of the person who are watching IPL at this moment. But I think yes, even a lot of new bowlers have walked in, and some old bowlers, for example, if you talk about Mohammad Siraj, he was not having best of his times in IPL, at least for the last two seasons, if I can recall. And obviously, it's a different aspect bowling in Chinnaswamy. I understand that, but still, the way he has changed his thought process, or could be a difference in terms of the teachings that he's getting from Ashish Nehra and the GT management. But yeah,
True,
there
and
has
the
been a lot of
mindset as
chances.
well. Sorry to interrupt. The mindset and the backing that the franchisee has given, and more
Yeah,
importantly, as you mentioned, the blessing in disguise was there definitely was moving away from Chinnaswamy. I mean, it is my as an RCB well wisher, this is something that I really don't want to say, but I really think the blessing in disguise was RCB letting him out
yeah.
to GT. I think yeah, continue with it.
Yeah, I think it's rightly mentioned, because even if someone was there in the RCB management and would have seen his performances, I think that was a fair call to let him go, because I think everything was getting slightly predictable with what Siraj can offer on those tracks, because probably they were not changing the management as well. But I think that's what has happened has been good for both the things. As in, it has been better for RCB as well, that they can try out on Bhuvneshwar or some other bowlers, and I think it's good for Siraj's personal career as well. But yes, I think a lot of players have surprised, because I can still remember the first 3-4 games they have almost given their MI cap, as in they have debuted a single player in every match. It started off with the left arm leg spinner Vignesh, and then there was, I think, Ashwani, then Satyanarayan. There were few players
True.
coming from different parts of the country. So I think obviously when you talk about IPL, it's about the young talent that is coming up. But yes, in terms of bowlers, I think it has been much better than last 3-4 seasons. So yeah, I think that has been a big difference why everyone is enjoying matches more.
Yes, definitely. And other than that, the way Mumbai Indians have come back, after what Jasprit Bumrah has come back to the IPL, right? After his injury, I think they've been a different team altogether. Before that, yes, despite, the stars being with them, they didn't really work out, right? But the point, at that moment when Surya Kumar Yadav, when Rohit Sharma, when Jasprit Bumrah came to form, they looked to be a different unit altogether. So rightly mentioned, yeah, and Jasprit Bumrah. I'll tell you something. There is nothing to talk about him. To be very honest, at this moment, uh, all you can
Yeah.
do is you can give him his due credit, and that's it at this point in time. Because now I can understand. You know what the peak of maybe what is the peak of a generational fast bowler? Maybe I would have seen I've seen the likes of Dale Steyn maybe at one point in time. But post that, if you ask me a fast bowler speak, an Indian fast bowler speak, I think Jasprit Bumrah stands at the top at this point in time, right? I think
Yes.
he's definitely for all our generation. I think he'll be a top pick, right? Definitely, there is no doubting that.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, the likes of Prasidh Krishna as well doing really good for GT, and I think that is a very surprise package that we talk about. And also, there are a few underrated names this season. Prince Yadav doing a good job. Yes, sometimes he tends to be expensive, but I think at the death his variations are really good. And other than that, Digvej Rathi as well has been a good find in my opinion. So yes, there are multiple finds for multiple franchises. Priyan Sharia doing a great job. The
Yeah.
likes of a lot of openers, right? Coming in and the likes of Ayush Matre. The other day he played
Yeah.
such a mature knock against RCB. It was really good to watch.
Yeah.
So Vaibhav Suryavanshi, how can we forget Vaibhav Suryavanshi? I mean, really every single of us every one of us think that what were we doing when we were 14, right? So in he's getting 100 against in an IPL game. So yeah, definitely I think a lot of young talents have come through. And talking about the playoffs, right? What do you
Yeah.
think can happen from here? I personally, if you ask me, GT, PBKS, and one more side, RCB. So three of these sides will be through. At this point in
Yeah.
time, if LSG, if there is a team who can have an outside chance, it is LSG, but their net run rate is less, so their probability is lesser. So the fight should be between Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians, and both of us, mutually share one thing, that is that we both are KL Rahul fans. So what do you think has happened to KL Rahul post that celebration that he did? I mean, from there on, he's faced a slight dip to his standards.
Yeah, I think with KL, the most of the matches that Delhi has played in Firozshah Kotla, they haven't performed well. Probably because of the conditions. Because I still remember even that RCB match, it was not the best surface to bat on. There was a lot of assistance for the spinners, and I think on those kind of tracks, probably KL is the most accurate player to play such sort of innings. But I think because there are a lot of foreigners in that Delhi lineup, as in Faf starts at that time, Fraser McGurk I think he was playing at that time.
Yeah, he started. He started.
Yeah,
Initially, he started.
yeah, yeah. So I think yes, after that post that celebration, probably DC Delhi Capitals playing in Delhi was the main concern. I don't think so that celebration was the changing factor, but I think the way they have played in Delhi, I think that has somehow costed them their that drop in the points table. Because even few matches, if I remember, even that SRH match that they played, fortunately it was rain, that's why they got 1 point. Otherwise, they could have easily lost even that point, because SRH I think would have easily chased 133 if I'm not wrong. So I think yes, the way they have adopted to Delhi conditions, I think that is something is will be questioned, or or the pitches are not according to their setup. I think these are the few things that I think that have gone slightly out of radar. But I personally think there's one problem with Delhi. I can't understand. They are going with Mukesh Kumar instead of Natarajan. I understand Mitchell Stark is a left-arm bowler and you
Correct.
want to have versatility in form of a right-hand player, but I still think in T20 cricket we have played with Australia always plays with two left-arm bowlers. We have seen especially in T20s, and most of the teams prefer to do that. But I can't understand why Delhi are still sticking with Mukesh Kumar. There's nothing wrong with him, but I think in T20, Natarajan is probably one of the best in India, but he hasn't got the chance, unfortunately. I think that's the reason why I still think MI are going to qualify, and if they qualify for playoffs, they can win the title. They're very strong.
Yeah, definitely. And some, a lot of CSK fans, right? Now have started to support Mumbai Indians, although they are
Yeah,
one of the arch rivals. Sometimes I think it is very difficult as a CSK fan to support a Mumbai Indians, or the vice versa as well. If you're a Mumbai Indians fan, it's very tough, difficult to support CSK. But yes, see that being on the funnier side, the banter side of things. You rightly mentioned, and with especially Hemant Badani out there for Delhi Capitals, right? It is really surprising that Natarajan hasn't found his place in the 11 as well. And
Yeah,
other than that, I think teams with Indian coaches, they're doing an extremely great job.
yeah,
Other than that, Punjab, I think more GT, PBKs, and RCB are definitely sorted. They should make the playoffs at any cost. But
yeah,
the only thing is that now what will happen is DC are going to play Mumbai Indians, right? DC are going to play Mumbai Indians. PBKs and Mumbai Indians as well will have a face off. So there is going to be a tri series, right? Like let's say like DC, PBKs, and Mumbai Indians are going to play through a tri series in the next 1 week. So however it pans out, I really think Mumbai Indians, if they can lose one more, I think their playoff spot will be in danger. What do you think?
yeah. Of course, if they lose even one of the matches, they'll be in a position they will be depending on other teams. But yeah, keeping in mind how the team is at this moment and the way they are performing, I personally think the only way you can defend Mumbai Indians at this moment is you win the toss and decide to bowl. Don't allow them to chase, because what we have seen so far, the kind of strength and depth they have in batting, even batting first, they can defend the targets. That what happened in that Gujarat match, because of rain, it turned out into 1 over. I still think if it was a 2 over game, they could have snatched it. And there was a run out also that was missed on the last delivery. But yeah, if Mumbai loses one of the matches, obviously things will be easier for Delhi. Probably, I'm not sure about LAC, but I think yes, it will be easier for Delhi. But I don't think so that's going to happen. I think Mumbai is going to defeat both the teams. That's my thinking. I think that's going to happen.
Yes, definitely Mumbai Indians, the favorites. I mean, there is no doubting that among the three teams that we're talking about, or
Yeah,
maybe even if you give the slightest chance to LSG. But other than
yeah,
that, DC and Mumbai Indians are looking like one of the teams might qualify, and MI are obviously the favorites. So yeah, other than that, I think this IPL. Will we see a new champion? Do you see the likes of RCB, Punjab Kings winning? I really think that is a massive possibility, definite possibility. What do you think? I mean, if you ask me after CSK, I'll definitely my second favorite team is RCB personally. So uh, you know I witnessed 2016 to be very honest. So post 2016, I think this is their best opportunity to win. So hopefully, what do you think about RCB's chances and about PBKs as well? Will we find a new champion?
yes. I think if we have currently, if we have to pick top two teams, looking at how they have performed, if not MI, you have to say it's along with beg your pardon, RCB, it has to be Punjab. And that was the case when I got to know that Ricky Ponting is going to Punjab Kings. I had an understanding that they might qualify for playoffs, because whenever I've seen Ricky Ponting, probably with DC as well, yes, few years that hasn't gone well for them, but the kind of mindset he brings in, and along with Shreyas Iyer and the kind of setup they had, even most of the players were very confident that they're going to qualify, and that was never the case with Punjab Kings. So yeah, chances are there. I think the only thing with RCB is how they can handle pressure, because on paper the kind of skill they have in terms of bowling, I think Punjab is not very strong in terms of bowling. I think if I have to compare RCB and Punjab, uh, probably RCB will be slightly more balanced. But yeah, it all comes down to how you can perform under pressure on big situations. If RCB is there in top two, then definitely I think they can win. But if RCB slips down to three or third or fourth position, then I think it's going to be slightly more difficult.
Yes, definitely. If they can finish around the 20 points, I think a definite possibility that they can have a solid top two spot. But yes,
Yeah,
other than that, both these teams having solid chances. MI coming in, it's going to be a great playoff ahead for us. Great couple of weeks. So yeah, other than that, coming to international cricket, we've seen a legend retire. Indian captain Rohit Sharma has announced his retirement from Test cricket, and he mentioned that he'll continue to represent India in ODI cricket. I think that's only for Mission 2027, keeping 2027 World Cup in mind. I think that is the only trophy that is left in his cabinet or not there in his cabinet. So I think he's definitely looking to win that and go on high. Right? What do you think about?
yeah. I think it was some sort of expected, as in that he can retire because the new Test cycle is coming in. So most of the people are not happy with him retiring from Test cricket. Everyone, I think the kind of conversations I've had with my friend is that they thought that he could have easily played the England series. But the point is, you have to think from a long-term point of view. It was not about the England Test series; it was the two-year cycle. Can he play that? Of course, he can play that. But I personally think, especially after BGT, probably there were some doubts in his mind as well regarding his future in Test cricket. And I've seen he's a very selfless cricketer. I think at this moment he must have realized that there could be someone better who can probably get into the team at the right time. Probably because I think every time it's the timing that's very important. You have to have transition at the right time. What's happening with CSK? What has happened with Sri Lanka post to 2014? What has happened with South Africa post 2016-17? I think that shouldn't be the case here in Indian Test setup. I think this probably was the right time. If I'm, yeah, he could have easily played, but I think if you want to think from a broader perspective, new Test cycle is coming in. Bumrah is there, KL Rahul is there. Obviously, team is looking at Shubman Gill as well. But I think, yeah, talking about his current form and his approach as well, I think it was not that bad decision of him retiring, and it could be pressure from the management as well because the kind of interviews we saw before this event. I think he was having an interview with Michael Clark. He was mentioning that he's going to prepare a few things for the England Test series. Even with in other interviews as well, he was very keen in playing Test cricket for the next cycle. So I'm not sure if it's coming from a peer pressure from the management and the selectors, then it's wrong. If it's his personal call, then okay, there's not a problem. India is at this stage where can easily transition. If it would have happened post the England series or in the middle of this WTC cycle, then it would have been a very difficult thing to handle. But because the Test cycle is coming up, you are just starting, then I think it could be the right thing for India as well. But yeah, nothing away from his performance in Test cricket. Everyone says that he hasn't performed well in Test cricket because obviously you see him from Rohit Sharma's stature, but he still had a really good win percentage in most parts of the country, in most parts of the world. The way he utilized spin, the way he dominated in India, the way he batted as well. Obviously, he was not scoring big runs, but the Test cricket also in the last 2 years have changed a lot. He was scoring runs at a quick pace. He had average of roughly 40. So yeah, I think he has done decently well with Test cricket. Obviously, up to his expectations, people would have expected him to play at least 100 Test matches. But yeah, I think what has happened is right now.
Yeah, definitely agreed. I mean, I also thought that have a similar feeling that, it is definitely a right time to retire. Yes, obviously, any day we are going to have that feeling if a legend like Rohit Sharma is going to, retire, right? But obviously, I think this is the right decision. This might be the right decision, keeping the team ahead as the first perspective. So yeah, I mean, good for Indian cricket. I mean, hopefully they'll find their next captain very soon. India find their next captain over as the front runner, maybe like some Jasprit Bumrah, Shubman Gill, whomever so it is. So yeah, definitely a great IPL ahead, and post that we're going to have the start of an exciting Test cycle. So Ritik, your final thoughts about what's going to unfold in this IPL and what are the expectations for the India England series?
Yeah, I think yeah, talking about IPL, I think yeah, the top four teams that we talked about, I think probably it's MI who's going to enter into that frame. But yeah, I have one more question regarding this Rohit's retirement. So Rohit has retired from Test cricket. Everyone, all the speculations are there that Shubman Gill is going to lead India. And I think what BCCI or the management is thinking is what they have done with Virat in the past. As in 2014, he was 24, 25-ish, and he led the team really well. Obviously, one of the best Indian captains, one of the best ever in the world to lead a Test side. But can that be done with a player like Shubman Gill? Because the thing is, when Virat Kohli took the captaincy, first of all, he had more experience in Test cricket, and at that time, whole team was young. He was not the youngest in the team. At this time, there is Jasprit Bumrah in the 11. There is KL Rahul. There is Ravindra Jadeja. There is probably Mohammad Shami if he gets fit enough to play Test cricket. And you have to think about these things as well. That how the
You have
camaraderie will
Virat
work.
Kohli himself as one of the most
Virat Kohli
experienced.
himself, yeah, Virat Kohli himself, and probably Virat will not lead the team. But the question will be, Everyone wants Bumrah to be the captain, but the availability is the question. Can he be available for all the big matches? Leave aside small tours, for example, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, or West Indies. But even if India is traveling to England to play 5 test matches, can Bumrah play all five? Because I don't think there's anyone in the world who can guarantee that at this moment.
True,
So
true.
if not Bumrah, why can't they go with KL Rahul? Or
Yeah.
one second, yeah, yes, Rohit.
Yeah, I mean, I also thought that KL Rahul has a fair chance. Considering his experience, there are few people who say that Virat Kohli can, uh, lead it for 2 years, and then from then on in the next cycle you can have a new captain. But I think that is you're going backwards if you're going to think in that perspective. In my
Yeah,
opinion, I think KL Rahul has a fair chance. Yes, Shubman Gill can do that, but what concerns me is that you know outside India he doesn't average to his standards, to Shubman Gill's standards. So uh,
hmm,
sometimes you understand that he was dropped from the Indian 11 as well in the BGT, if you could
yeah,
remember. So
yeah,
if a player is doubtful in that, to that extent, if a player is doubtful for the team, do you have him in your first preference as a captain? So that's something to think about. And KL Rahul as well. I think will definitely play one more cycle. I mean, other than this cycle, I think he's fit enough to play 2 cycles for India. And his versatility, as we know, he can bat anywhere. He can keep wickets. He can do
yeah,
whatever he wants. Right? So I think KL Rahul will definitely be a better option. Considering that, as you mentioned, Jasprit Bumrah cannot play all the games because he has this workload issue. So what
yes,
I really have this thought process that I'm also convinced that KL Rahul can really be a good option, but I think they'll go ahead with Shubman Gill because he's also had the vice captaincy as far as the white ball format as well, right? So I think that is
yeah,
what it will unfold most probably.
yes, yes, yes. I think you have rightly just put away what we think is the right option and what we know what BCCI will do. Yeah, I think that's somehow we can put it. Yeah, but I think, yeah, let's see, whoever leads the team, hopefully they do well.
Yeah, definitely. Shubman Gill as well, if he can come in and do a good job, I mean, all of them will be happy, right? If they can
Yeah,
produce results at the end of the day, anybody is happy. So, guys, thank you so much. First of all, Ritik, thank you so much for joining in. We had a very good discussion. So, hopefully, we have the same excitement continues throughout the IPL, and we'll join back for covering more content throughout the IPL as well. Thank you so much, guys. If you like this video, do like, share it with your friends, and do hit the subscribe button below. And I'll add the Wicket Whispers, the channel of Ritik as well, in the description below. Do watch it and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys.
thank you, thank you, thank you.